I think it's critical that students are a central part of the discussion when you're working with universities and community partners, that they're used as role models to demonstrate to all players how smart, how engaged, how effective young people can be in working in this field. So that they act as great role models for other students, but also demonstrate to universities and to community partners that there's tremendous skills in the students as they are and how they can make an impact. I think for us the core focus of our work is encouraging student engagement in universities, and we do that through really working with universities around how students get involved in volunteering, both on campus and with community organisations, and also exploring the whole world of co-curricular and service learning, and looking at how do we make that more impactful, particularly in its results in community, and how do we look at innovation that really matters and engages students in new and interesting ways. And for us, we've tried three approaches. Firstly, we run a range of projects and programs that engage and facilitate student involvement. So we work around leadership, community engagement, build their skills in facilitation, and explore that world of student leadership. At a second level, our focus has been very much more on projects and programs which involve students engaging with community partners and being the linker between a university and a community. And at a third level, we've really focused on a set of strategic approaches. So firstly, on our research into student engagement and what makes for the most innovative and exciting student engagement that has the most impact. We've produced a series of publications around that. But perhaps our most exciting initiative has been to develop and launch the first National Student Volunteer Week, and we've led that program across Australia to celebrate and to further extend the way in which young people engage in volunteering at universities. I think in addition to that, we've certainly been interested in the role that engagement can play in really engaging international students, making a better connection for them with local communities and making a more satisfying study period for them. We've also been very interested in the way in which we work with community partners and being a voice for community partners so that they get heard by the university, but also that they maximise the experience that they get in working with students. It's important, I think, for three critical reasons. I think firstly that students bring tremendous skills and passions to their work in community. And in community organisations, we desperately need the skills they bring, the interest they have, the enormous range of people that universities have to offer us. But in addition to that, they also bring the latest professional skills and the latest professional thinking, which often helps workers rethink their role and be more effective in what they do. I think at a second level, the work that we do encourages students to get involved in volunteering. And so our hope is that the more work we do, the more we build a culture of civic engagement in universities. And we know all the research tells us that the more students volunteer at a young age, the more they're likely to volunteer throughout their lives. So our work is very much about building sustainable engagement in Australia in the long term. I think at a third level, one of the really exciting parts is that we deal with very challenging issues in our communities. Long-term challenges around food security, climate change, living with diversity and difference. And we need young people with all their new thinking, their new skills, their ways of challenging traditional processes to help us deal with those, what we call wicked problems. So it's a really exciting time for us to work and develop that type of work to ensure that we have the sort of answers and solutions that are required for those problems which we now face. We've developed a range of programs in the business faculty, in a program called Business Advantage. We've developed programs in leadership, in groups and teams, in community engagement for students, in assisting them in developing facilitation skills, as well as some work around corporate social responsibility. We've also worked with the broader university in a program called Lead, Develop and Innovate, which is a program run around social change and working with students around how they get involved in social change and how they make a difference in their communities. We also run the International Student Volunteer Program, which takes a group of international students each semester and engages them in a series of projects with community organisations where they get the chance to develop their leadership skills and contribute to significant community projects. We've also worked as an advisor to a series of different groups within the university to build the way in which they look at service learning, and we've been a bit of a critical partner in challenging some of the ways in which the university works with community partners and does that more effectively. And they've been very open and very positive about the way in which they can work with community to make a real difference. The award was the Vice-Chancellor's Award for Excellence in Community Partners, or for community partners. And this award recognised the work that we did over a long term with the Queensland University of Technology. For us, it was a really special honour because it valued that very different work that we do that's not perhaps traditionally recognised in the university. And it gave us at the top level the sort of support that we wanted to ensure that the sort of initiatives that we take at a grassroots level are supported and encouraged. And more generally, it valued student engagement, and it said that the university is a strong believer in the power of student engagement to build better citizens, to provide better professional pathways, and more generally to build the culture of the university. So for us it was very exciting and a real honour to be given the award. For us, it's about continuing to build the way in which we work with universities and the programs that we deliver, and particularly to explore and to document those programs that really make a difference. So we're interested in building a community of practice around that work to involve universities from around Australia, and over time hopefully look at international examples that really make an impact. In addition to that, we want to make sure that the work we do is collaborative. It's collaborative and it involves our universities, but also our community partners, and it's driven and led by students who work with us in our teams and in the projects that we run. So over time, that work becomes sustainable both at a university level and for those who are now going out in their communities and making a difference as they leave university and continue to work in community and in volunteering.